this is the proper way to wash your greens, okay? So, you put it in a big pan that has your apple cider vinegar, your salt, and a little bit of oil because you need the oil to kind of like get in there and break through a lot of the other stuff and like break it down. Kind of like your skin, you need that beta hydroxy acid, or you need another oil to break through that oil barrier, right? So our food is a lot like that. And so you got to get in there and you got to really break it up. Now the next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to pull it off of the stems. And then I'm going to, sometimes I keep my stems and use them for something else. But in this case, I'm going to probably just trash these stems, to be honest about it. But you have it in the pan. Please don't wash your stuff in the sink. If you feel like I don't have anything to put in, please find a bucket or something. Like, y'all can go to Dollar Tree and get a bucket, clean it out real good, and then put it in there. Don't put your stuff in the sink. That's so unsanitary. And the bacteria that lives in there, like, for real, y'all, quit playing with me. So look, you see how it's starting to like really break up, and it feels good. It's not oily or anything. You just put a drop of oil. Go ahead and freehand it with the apple cider vinegar. To be honest about it, like too much vinegar, there's no too much vinegar. But I would say, if I'm trying to give you a measurement, I would say use about maybe a half a cup if you're gonna have a humongous pot like I have here. Because as you can see, like this goes deep. Look where my arm is. Like I have a huge, I forget how big it is. I'm sorry. But I have a very huge one, and I'm just going to massage through because I want to make sure it's all clean. Make sure you're starting off with clean hands and clean arms, okay? Nobody wants to eat nasty stuff. Don't taste off your food this Thanksgiving, folks. Okay, pull it to the side. Have your extra spoon and plate on the side. Take your big main spoon and put it on top of, that spoon, okay? Please don't go tasting off your food. Don't have your animals in the kitchen and hairs all over the place. Like, y'all don't know what floats out here, okay? So, don't have your animals in the kitchen. I know you love them. Give Toto his own little plate to the side if you want to do that. Don't taste off your food. Make sure your hands are clean, all right? Clean your food. Clean your veggies. Clean your fruits. Cleanse your meats. Clean everything in vinegar. Everything. Everything in vinegar. And don't go and buy the A-peel. Well, hopefully y'all ain't already bought it. But the A-peel or peel vegetables and fruits that Bill Gates has contaminated. Get that the natural organic, or even if you use a regular one, just make sure it don't say peel or A-peel, okay? All right. I'm going to stop here with the video, and I'm going to continue on. And for those nosy people that are like, oh, well, she's doing it with one hand. I will be cleaning my other hand before I finish up. After I put this phone down. I need to go get my tripod. All right. This is what I use to cleanse with prior. So, Mrs. Myers or the Ecos brand. So, alright guys. So you can see I've dropped some herbs in there. Okay. I got fresh thyme. I got a little cayenne. I got quite a bit of turmeric. I got basil. I put me some onions in there. The next thing I'm going to put, most people don't put, is I have pickles. I'm going to put some pickle juice in there, but I'm also going to drop a couple of pickles in there, okay? This is going to really make a difference. I'm not one of those people who put potatoes or tomatoes in my greens. All right, and I'm making turnip greens with kale. That's what I'm making today, in case anybody was wondering. And it's going to be delicious. I did drop in my apple cider vinegar, a sprinkle of salt, of sea salt, and a cap full of oil. All right, y'all. So as you can see here, I have added in my pickles and pickle juice. I added in more onions, okay. I added in a little bit of Cajun Creole. I added in a little bit of this. This is my first time using a little bit of this. I didn't use a lot just because I'm like, you know. But I did add a little bit in there. I smelled it first before I decided to add that in there because I don't play around with my flavors, okay? We'll see. It ain't gonna make or break because I already did my pre-seasoning. And then I added in this white ground pepper. And it has a much different flavor, y'all, than black pepper. So you can add black pepper to your greens if you want to. But the white pepper is more fine. It tastes a little bit different. It's a lighter flavor. And you hear my daughter in the background because I'm teaching my kids how to cook as we go along. But it is a great flavor in your greens to have white pepper. Because sometimes people are like, oh, okay, how do I know the difference? Okay, so you can see already. I haven't even cooked my greens yet. But you can see my greens finna be fire, okay?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah, period.
Oh,
Cool.
yeah,
Period. Okay? These gonna be bomb diggity, okay? All right. All right, so I got my girl on high over here, okay? I'm gonna start her off high because I want to get it all hot, okay?
Hot.
Real hot. And then I'm gonna turn her down after that, okay? So we're gonna start off hot. We're coming in hot, 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 hot. We're coming in hot. All right. All right, topped it off with a little bit of lemon pepper, and it's gonna be fire. So just keep watching if you want to see how this turns out, y'all. I'm not gonna lie to you, if I don't like some, I'm gonna be like, ew. But yeah, it's gonna be fire. All right. Now we're gonna move on, and we will show how I whip up my sweet potato for my sweet potato pie. You know, we don't play around when it comes down to our good, okay? That Barbadian origin, you know what I mean? My mother, she cooks stuff. She showed us how to make stuff from scratch. That banana pudding y'all gonna see, ooh, it's gonna definitely be made from scratch. But I do want to let y'all know, black people don't do stuffing. We do dressing. We don't do only green bean casserole. We do greens. We don't do just mac and cheese. We do baked mac and cheese, all right? Things like that, all right? And I'm going to say the average black person, because not all black people are the same. But just know, we all going to eat it no matter who make it, okay? So, and not all of us want turkey, okay? So, yeah, that's the thing. All right, y'all, happy vegan here. I don't do eggs, so I take and mix flax, just because flax replaces the eggs. I don't do that egg substitute either stuff. You could do just egg if you're like, oh, I just want something just eggy. But I do flax. My food is still good. No one noticed a difference, or maybe they do notice a difference. It's hella good, and I'm wondering why. There you go, right here. All right, excellent source of vitamins, excellent source of protein, excellent source of fiber, loaded with antioxidants, and omega-3 and fatty acids, which is essential to and vital to your health. So I get it ground already, because if you just get regular flax, if you don't grind it up, it's just going through your system and it has no health benefits. Just FYI, in case anybody's wondering. So make sure that you're getting milled flax seeds, which means it's already ground up. I got the non-GMO, the Simply Pure brand, pretty affordable. It's not usually the brand that I get. I normally get Bob Mills, but this is fine. So potatoes have lots of nutrients in the skin. So when I'm initially softening down my potatoes, I want the skin to still be on there because I don't really want to lose the nutrients. Yeah, you can cook it off a little bit or whatever, but if you cook it with the skin, it has way more nutrients absorbing. So basically what I'm doing is I'm taking my sweet potato and I'm basically softening it up. I don't want to boil it down to the mash or anything like that, but I want to make it soft enough so that when I go to smash it, it does what I need it to do. What I'm doing is I'm prepping my sweet potato pies. So I cut up all of my sweet potatoes fresh. I do everything from scratch. and then I'm gonna soften it up. The process of how I make my sweet potatoes is a little bit different from a lot of other people, and you'd be surprised just how wonderful this is gonna turn out. All right. So I'm making a couple different variations of macaroni and cheese, and this is one of the ones that I got. This is the Better Goods. You can find that at Walmart. Not all of them have it, so you might have to ask for it. It is vegan and it is dairy free. Okay. And it does come with a cheesy sauce packet. All right, so this is one variation that I'm making. Obviously, it will be critiqued to the T, but this is a plant-based brand and it's good for vegans. Also, I have a couple of different cheeses, vegan cheeses in the fridge that I'm going to add with this. But, you know, this is not gluten-free, so if you're one of those people who need to stay away from gluten, this is not going to be your go-to. Okay, they do have other options like the chickpea and all that. I also got a vegan protein broth. A lot of times when I boil my noodles, I don't boil noodles in water. I boil noodles in the actual vegetable broth. You can do a broth and water variation, like half and half, and it'll just make your noodles that much better. So I don't typically cook like a lot of people cook, but not my whole family's not vegan. A lot of them are just vegetarian or may just only do like seafood or may only just do white meat. But regardless, I'm going to have something for everybody to eat. Just because I'm vegan doesn't mean I'm going to keep everybody else away from whatever it is their heart's desire. Okay, you can see I have a cream of mushroom sitting there. Me personally, I'm going to make a cream of mushroom straight from scratch for myself because I am vegan. I'm going to I'm going to cook down my own mushrooms, and then I'm going to add in a creamy broth and just go from there. I'll show y'all the process of that. But yeah, I just want to show y'all this brand because it is a plant-based brand. It's dairy free. It's creamy. I've had this brand before and it was actually pretty good. Like what I did with this before was I cooked it down, softened it up, I should say. I keep using the word cook down, but really I cooked it on the stove. I left the noodles still kind of tender, and then I added some vegan cheese to it. I popped it in the oven. I baked it like that, and it turned out very delicious. Okay, so that brand is actually pretty good. The cheese is actually pretty good because I'm really funny about cheese. One of the main cheeses I absolutely hate as a vegan is the Daiya brand. I know they try to do the oat milk one that's a little bit better than their original blend, but I still don't like it. Chio is probably my favorite. And then I have Follow Heart, which is my next favorite. All right. So I will show y'all the process. And just real quick, y'all, you can say I have some extra vegetable broth, breadcrumbs, garbanzo beans. This dark chocolate brownie mix does not have any what do you call it? Dairy or anything in it. Can you grab that for me, please, honey? Okay. I do have a coconut milk, and a Country Crock has a plant cream, which is a heavy whipping alternative to dairy. Okay, so it's dairy free. This is what I'm going to use for some of my baked goods today. And so this is going to be a phenomenal, y'all. Like there's so many different things you can cook and get creative with that will just, the food is just phenomenal. Like I'm showing y'all brands that I like that works really good. If you're looking for, like, let's say you want to make a vegan cheesecake, you know who has a phenomenal, and there's a lot of brands that are very good for cream cheese, but what's in the brand? Is it Pillsbury?
Yes.
They actually have a very good vegan cream cheese. So, yeah, we'll get to it. Those wondering, the skin will separate itself, and you'll just take a little fork or something and just pull it off. Okay? Now, this is when we're going to come in with the Country Crock plant cream, and then you're just going to add a little cream to it. right? You don't need really a lot. I'm gonna come in there with that, and then I'm gonna come in here with a little bit of ground nutmeg. All right. I don't play with it, okay? Then I turn around and I come in with a little bit of cinnamon, because like for real, like how are you not gonna put cinnamon? All right, now I'm gonna come in with some brown sugar and my final touch. So let me grab that. All right, now I'm gonna have Raja help me out here and pour in some brown sugar. Oh, there, that's enough.
Oh shit.
I mean, that, hey, you know what? That look about right. All right. Now y'all gonna trip out on this next part only because, well, for a couple of reasons y'all probably trip out on this next part. The first reason is because you're gonna be like, well, you already put brown sugar in it. Oh, the second part is probably gonna be because it goes in the oven. Oh yeah, and then there's that third part where the vegans are gonna be upset. Why is she using honey? First of all, honey doesn't make you anti-vegan. It's the way that they treat the bees. Get your stuff from the local. Get it from a farmer. Get your local honey. Make sure they're treating the bees correctly and not trying to mass produce, and you're fine. So there you go. Satisfy y'all yet? All right then. That's what I'm talking about. All right. We got a little straggler. All we're going to do is pick up our little straggling skin there and take them out. Honestly, it wouldn't even bother me if it didn't come out. Because like I told you, nutrients, it's already fine. And you see, we don't really want it to be like mashed. We want it to be having a little bit of texture. This is what I'm trying to tell y'all. Don't whip up your sweet potatoes when you're trying to make sweet potato pie. You want to make sweet potato pie like the old black grandmas. You don't whip it up, okay? You soften it up to where it looks like this. Mush, but not mash, okay? Two different things, folks. Go and chop it up like that. It should have a thick consistency, all right? I'm probably gonna add a tad bit more of my plant-based whipping cream because it's not as milky as I want it. But when I add that, I'm also going to add in my honey. And that honey's really going to give it texture when I go to put this in the oven, okay? And this is all I'm going to add to this. This is all I'm going to be adding to this. And then I'm going to fill my pie shells, and then I'm going to bake these. All right? And I'm going to let you see how they come out when they're done. I did forget to tell y'all that that was not the final step. I lied. So I got the Country Crock avocado oil, and that's my plant butter that I'm using. And I do add that into my mixture. All right. And then let me tell y'all, when you want to taste it, you get you a spoon and you pour some from your cooking spoon onto that spoon. And that's how you keep your stuff sanitary and when you're tasting it. Okay? Because you do need to taste, right? I mean, me, I go by my nose for the most part. But like I do like to taste it here and there depending on what I'm making. When I'm baking something, I like to taste. And so I keep that on the side, okay? Me personally, I want a little bit more cinnamon. Because I'm a cinnamon girl, okay? I like cinnamon. Cinnamon, think baby. Natasha got on. If you don't love yourself, okay? All right. Thank you, baby. All right. Just go in there. I don't measure. I kind of free it because I've been doing it for a long time. But I would just say gradually add stuff in. The same ingredients that I showed y'all, gradually add it in there. All right? It's about ready, y'all. And I filled my little mini ones. And I'm going to put these in the oven for about 30 minutes. And I'm going to take them out to cool. That's what my son got us listening to. All right, y'all. So this is that cheese that I use in my mac and cheese. The mac and cheese is in the oven. Show y'all. As y'all can see, it melts just fine. It's been in here for a little while. And it's gonna be delicious once it's done. Anyone ever hold me down? I'm free, Lord, free me. Lord, free me. Alright, y'all. So basically, this is a cornmeal mix for cornbread. And I added in flax. I added in Italian breadcrumbs. I added in the vegan protein broth. That's a creamy base. I added in a vegetable broth.
You're amazing.
Wait, thank you. Okay. And then I'm mixing this up, and you see it's getting thick. So what I'm going to do basically is I'm going to take this mixture. I'm going to bake it in the oven. It has no water or anything added to it, no extra nothing besides what I just told you. I'm going to mix it up and make a cornbread. I'll show y'all the cornbread afterwards. But I'm just basically going to make a cornbread. And then I'm going to blend it with my other concoction I have on the stove. And this is going to be how I do my dressing. Alright? By the time I add all these stuff together, like, it's probably going to be 2 cornbread dressings. Okay?
Oh, yeah.
So that's what I'm making. I forgot to add that I put brown sugar in that other blend. This is my other blend on the stove that I'm mixing in there. You can't really see it right now. This is how my pies have come out so far, but they're not done because they got to pull off. Alright, y'all. So my little mini apple pies are done. And to be completely honest, they fire, okay? The way that I do my pies, in case y'all had noticed, is I always cook my pie slightly on the stove.
Yeah.
And then I do the rest in the oven. So my completion is good. And you can notice I don't do that top layer of unnecessary bread. Especially if you're going to do a graham cracker crust like what I did. You don't want to put like a plain flake. And if you do, you need to get the, what is the brand? I forget what it's called, but it's just like the flaky top layer of crust, not like an actual doughy roll or whatever. But anyway, I like these because once they cool completely down, like right now they're stiff. You can see it's kind of leaning on top of this and it's not falling out. It's stiff. It's going to be fire once we bite into these. Roll that foil down and it's going to be just great.
What is I don't know.
These are the hens and they've been seasoned with thyme, oregano, Creole, black pepper, cayenne pepper, a little veggie blend I have, and yeah, it's gonna be good. So one of my kids just told me it's disgusting to put water inside the chicken's vagina, and I just have to tell them that you have to clean your own. But I did want to say, like, this is what y'all like to eat, so I'm vegan. I don't do it. I can't imagine. And so they're lying in a pool of butter right now. So now they've been flipped over. Okay. And y'all see, that's homemade cranberry sauce. Okay. That's how you make homemade cranberry sauce. You do not. And look how thick it is. Okay. That's how it's supposed to be.